Coffee Talk, number 465, live stream, 7 p.m. Central Time. It is Saturday, July the 5th, 2025. And I am drinking coffee. Good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Coffee. My elixir. My friend, KP Heathen, good evening, young man. How are you doing, sir? Uncle Owl, die Bullfrog 79 in the house. Thank you for coming in, young man. Part-time planting. Hello. How's it going? I am tired. Hope you're doing well, Peter. I have been doing yard work all day, off and on all day. Still doing yard work. Went out and got some more weed kill. And I'm going to work through 8 NIG, N-E-N-G. Welcome, young lady. Thank you for coming. Oh, Lord. I am tired and I'm drinking coffee. Thank God for Keurig. I popped in a pod. 3 of the Carnation Original Creamers, and I'm good to go. I am tired. I am so tired. Oh, man. Uncle Al, I will tell you, I have not had time to look at what you sent me. I know you sent me some detailed notes. I will use them tomorrow. I'll have the time to write my notes all down and everything. So for today, when we get around to it, I'm going to use one of the previous ones that we've done a couple of months ago, and talking about the summer of love. 2.5 communist and socialist and the disorders going on in the Supreme Court, and we'll talk about some stuff there. This will sort of be a coffee talk news, so to speak. And I apologize because I know you spent a lot of time sending it to me, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. I've been outside working and cooking. I had to cook my wife some food. Your son made it to Japan. Well, God bless him. Japan's a nice place. That would be if you could speak the language, and a lot of them speak English, but then again, a lot of them don't. If you could, Japan is a nice place, very nice place. Hello, Myra, buying space. How are you doing? So yesterday, and I don't think he's come in yet, but yesterday, my friend Dave, well, his name is David, and I call him Dave. And he's going by Yoda's Blessed Life. He did a post. He just recently hit 14K, and he says he's going to leave the post up until he hits 15K. His channel is growing like just blowing up. He says he's going to leave the post up until he hits 15K, and he said he probably figures he'll have about 150 people commenting on it. So anybody who's trying to grow their channel, he said, go over and leave a comment, leave a like, and then contact people and make friends. Introduce yourself, and he says you'll be able to pick up a lot of friends if you look to see who left comments on his post. So that's advice that he had given yesterday, and he wanted me to mention it yesterday. And he didn't say mention it today, but I'm mentioning it again. And I did go over, and I did see that there were 5 or 6 people that I'm already friends with. Were the ones on my there were people on my live stream that as soon as my live stream was off, I went over, and there were already 5 or 6 people from my live stream who had been over to his to leave their comments and everything. Melinda Elliott, how are you doing, young lady? Oh, I am tired. So I I haven't been working on the channel. I've watched a few shorts, and I've watched a few shorts, left comments on them and likes. I dropped a couple of shorts on my dog. Everybody talks over my dogs. One of them was both dogs, and the other one was basically catfish. Do some shorts on your dogs. So I did a couple of shorts on the dogs. I did one on a real nice sunset on the Gulf, and I just haven't, just I've been basically cooking and working in the yard. But I'm trying. We're ending week 5 of my vacation. I have about another 4 weeks. Then I got to be back at work. 4 weeks and I'll be back at work. 7 in the house, 6 likes. I did not post my. I was doing a live today. I didn't post. I don't think I'd post. I was doing a live today, and I didn't do a short on doing a live today. I did do a little teaser about who will get the next box. I showed an image of some of the stuff, and that's not all the stuff that goes in my original boxes, but that's some of the stuff that goes in one of my custom goodie boxes. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. So, how did the new vehicle come out? Did you get the new vehicle in? How'd that work out for you, Rachel? If I might ask. Thank God for coffee. I need it. I'm dragging. When I get through, I'm going to do burritos with chili. Wife said, use the air fryer. I will use the air fryer. How far away am I from the flooding? Yeah, I understand there's like 20 kids missing. They were doing a well, where I'm at, I'm on high ground. It floods along the river, on the other side of town, down at the park. You know, you'll get flooding down there when it overflows. But people know about that, and they they have issues in San Antonio, which is about 100 miles to the west of me, 90 to 100 miles west of me. They have issues in Houston with flooding. They have issues in Austin with flooding. All these, you know, you got all these hills and everything, the low areas, and they do have issues with flooding. Yeah, a lot of children missing, a lot of little girls. Horrible, horrible. I will tell you, if you like history and you like commentating on people commentating on history, Victor David Hanson with the Morning Signal. Victor David Hanson. That's he does a lot of good, fairly conservative. He does a lot of good commentary about what's going on. Yeah. My daughter used to, during the summer when she was in high school, and then she used to go for a week to Lebanon Baptist Encampment, up suburb of Dallas, and the church would go up there, the youth group. And then when she graduated from high school for like 3 years, she went up there and she worked the summer for like 5, 6 weeks. It was slave labor, but they give you, you know, they feed you, they you have a room and a roommate, they move you around, and you get paid, but it's not a lot. But for a kid, it's pocket cash. And she used to go up there for that, and that's nice. 16, that's nice. Hello, Julie. How's it going? West, Julie West. How are you doing, young lady? Eight in the house, 7 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Food poisoning's horrible. Drinking coffee. I drank so much water today, and mineral water today, it's not funny. Sweating like you would not believe. This is all sweat. Discolored my clothes. Yeah, down in our part of the country, we call it Montezuma's revenge. Food poisoning, such. Like, don't drink the water, especially if you go across the border. Yeah, Uncle Al does really good cooking. He does a lot of cooking. I do a lot of cooking. He gets a little more creative. I do the basics. He gets a little more creative than I do sometimes. I don't have a lot of time to, you know. Ah, 23 shorts to like God. Dave, you're awesome. And I did mention your post again. Enrique's been lurking. Here he comes in. Did you bring him over with you, Dave? Bring the bandana back. I've actually been wearing mosquito netting on my head. I was wearing a bandana, but I sweat it, and it's just dripping. It just drips water. Uh, put a bandana on. It's just very, very wet, very cold. And yes, so Dave did a post. He went over 14K, and I'm really jealous because I still have not hit 2K yet. I'm getting closer, but I think I'm at 1947 right now, and I have hopes and aspirations of hitting 2K at some point. So and I will tell you, I used to always be about 200 subs ahead of Dave, and we were always I'd laugh about and he'd laugh about me staying about 200 subs ahead of him, and we were both growing at the tune of right at 100 subs a month, and that was really active, and I was really, and I was very happy about it because you pick up 100 subs a month, that's pretty good for me. That's really good. And my wife had her another surgery in September, and she was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and she was in rehab for over a week, and then she had a lot of for several months, and I wasn't working the channel, and the channel went real slow and very little, and he went past me, and then he was a couple of hundred subs ahead of me. And then all of a sudden, here just a few months ago, he just blew up. I guess he changed his content a little bit. He had been doing baseball cards and, trivia and that kind of stuff. And his channel just blew up. And then all of a sudden, he just picked up thousands of subs. And now he's at over 14K. And he said that he did a post, Yoda's Blessed Life. He said, go over to it, leave a comment, leave a like. He said he's going to leave it up until he hits 15K, and he anticipates 150 or so people will come into it. And he said that'll be a good way for people to pick up new friends. You can go over and just monitor it, and you can reach out to people that leave comments. Did I get that right, Dave? Yeah. Uh, Dave, I'll be happy when I hit two. I will be happy. Let's put it this way. I'll be happy if I can catch up to Uncle Al. He's somewhere around 2,500 right now. It'd be nice if I could, catch him. Like, it'll never happen, but it'd be nice if I could catch him. Oh, I teased a box. Take care, 8. Neek. Have a blessed day. Enjoy church. And I will tell you, um, the subs that I am picking up, and I've picked up about 40 in the last month. These are people pretty much who reached out to me. It wasn't like I was reaching out to them. This basically, I haven't been doing a lot of outreach to people. I've been taking them when they come, and if they sub me, I sub them back. I'll go over and thank them and introduce myself and watch a couple of their, leave comments and likes on a couple of their videos, a few shorts, to pay them back. Thank you, Kalal. So I did a short and I showed some of the stuff that goes into a box, or one of my original boxes. If I send you a box for the first time, stuff that I normally will send you. And I put a question of who's next to get a box. And Rachel, I think it was Rachel. I think it was Rachel. Said Yoda. But yeah, the next two people to get boxes from me, and I have to put this stuff together. Like working on it. Can never have too many of these. The next two people get boxes, and I'm putting the stuff together, and they're going to get the exact same thing. That's for one of them. This is for the other one. Next two people to get boxes from me, follow-up boxes, are going to be Dave and Al. Belinda's Country Living, how are you doing, young lady? Alan Sato, my friend from the Communist Republic of California. And my friend David, won't say his last name, from he's back in my family's home, my father's family's home, Georgia. And I'm not happy the way things are going back there. No, I didn't. I didn't go. I have not seen him. Haven't. Nope. Nope. My daughter came over briefly yesterday. She still comes over and does her laundry about once a week. She'll come over and do laundry, or she'll drop laundry off. The wife will do it, and then the wife will do stuff for her. She doesn't do that much for me anymore. But no, wife will do laundry for me. She will do laundry for me. But I've been trying to help her mostly doing it myself. Considering a trip to Texas. If you do, because I know you've got some relatives out here or somebody related to you out here. If you do, we'll need to get together. You do it before I go back to work. Yeah, Scott, my friend SD Mountain Man, he contacted me, said he was coming to Texas. He went to Austin, and then he sent me a ping on where he was at. He said, "Can we get together?" I said, "Well, it's a 2.5 hour drive. I can't." At the time, I couldn't. I was working at the time. I said, "No, I can't. I can't go there." Well, maybe the next time. So it was nice of him to think of me. Walter, sneak in. Walter Davis, my friend. How are you doing, young man? Now, that's another good channel. Walter, if you're not friends with Walter, you need to be friends with Walter. Ten in the house, 11 likes. I look at my analytics after my streams are over, A lot of times it'll tell me that as far as the peak concurrence, it'll tell me my peak concurrence were like 9, like last night, and I know I had like 11 at a couple of times. There were like 11, but it said my peak concurrence was like 9. So I don't know. I do not know. I don't really trust making me prepper before he knows it. Yeah, so for those of you who just came in, my friend Dave, who's going by Yoda's Blessed Life, he has been blessed that his channel has really just blown up. He reached 14K. I used to have a bigger channel than he did up until the last few months, and then his channel just blew up. And he did a post on his channel. He wanted me to let everybody know he did a post. He's going to leave it up until he hits 15K, which the way he's moving, it'd be sometimes in the next month, or less. He's just blowing up. And he said that a good way to make new friends would be to go over and leave a comment and a like on his post, and then start contacting people that have commented on his post that you're not connected with, and connect with them. Good way to meet new people and connect with them. He said, you connect with them, they'll connect with you, and you both grow together. So he said, mention that, and I have. And I went over right after my live stream last night, and there were already 5 or 6 people from my live stream that had been over and left comments and likes and all, and it was touched me, and I left a comment and a like, and I don't know how many. I haven't been back to check, but I will try to go back and check. And one of the things I do is I hoard data. Like, I get a list of channels to reach out to, and I might reach out to 1 or 2 of them, the first 1 or 2, and then stuff happens and I stop, and but I've got the list, and I can always at later time try to reach out to them. Yes, 2 videos. That's TWO, 2. 2 videos. Drinking coffee. You think of 2. TO. Me too. TOO. There are 2. TWO. Yep. Ha ha ha. Autocorrect, yeah. Yep. So Uncle Al sent me some really good notes. He spends time doing it. And oftentimes then I write them down, script them down, and go through it. And he'll tell me to go look for stuff and or go check this out, and I do. So I didn't have a chance to do it this afternoon, but he did contact me this afternoon, and he did leave me some stuff, and I will do it tomorrow. I'll have time to go through, and it'll be the topic for tomorrow. So the topic tonight is basically the Summer of Love 2.5, the communist and the socialist, all those blue state psychopaths that are causing grief. They're trying to create as much disorder and chaos as they possibly can. They're really just freaking out. All this No Kings movement. That's being financed by some very leftist billionaires. Some of these are like heirs and heiresses that their parents were the ones that made the money, and they basically have just benefited from inheritance. One of the Waltons, one of the, I think the wife of one of the Waltons, Sam Walton, Walmart, Sam's Club, may he rest in peace. He's been gone for 30 years. You know, one of the somebody connected with him had done a big ad in the New York Times about no kings. People are spending money on it. Using protests and demonstrations against the current regime. Most people think that the First Amendment gives them the right to create chaos, freedom of speech, legal rights. So, you have the right to peaceably assemble. Peaceful assembly. Peaceful. To air grievances in a civil manner to authorities. Most idiotic people are sheeple, are breaking the laws, screaming, yelling, making noise, chanting, performing sex acts in public, acts of violence and intimidation, destroying private property and public property, creating civil arrests and violence. Look at what's happening in the big blue cities. Joseph Moore, how's it going, sir? How's the family? Good to see you. Yoda's request. All right, Dave, what's the request? Video request, how to build a campfire. Yeah, that would be a good one. I guess I could do something like that in the backyard. Back in the, Uncle Al does not like me to talk about back in the days or reminisce. But back in the day, and he was a scout, and that was one of the badges that we'd work on. How to safely make a campfire. You gather some rocks, you have a clear area. You gather some rocks, you make a little form in a circle. You go collect your twigs and your wood, small pieces of wood. You get a fire going with some tinder. Everybody likes to do the, they like to use steel. They and flint, strike a flint or whatever, the old-fashioned way, and make a fire. You get some fire starter, and back in the day, matches. Everybody carried matches. I mean, so many people smoked back in the day. I basically just strike matches, box matches or whatever, book of matches. And you get your fire going, and you have to basically keep it going and feed it, and you got to control it. People cooking over a fire, putting down a screen, 10 watching, 15 likes. Yeah, that would be, well, it's like doing a video of using a camp stove, one of the little camp stoves with sterno or with camp heat, using fuel tabs. I did one boiling water and made coffee a while back. I need to probably do some more of that kind of stuff. I need to try to do menu number 3 from the USMRE, from the cases I have. There are 24. I've done 1 and 2. My next one's going to be number 3. I've got a video, really nice one on that set of knives and flashlight that I had opened up. Got it all edited up. I just need to put comments down and leave some shout outs, and I'll be releasing. It's about 6 minutes long. A lot of stuff I'd like to do, and I just haven't had the time or the energy. I mean, when I get through here, I'm going to go out and cook, make supper, some burritos and chili, and need to remember to take my medication. Sometimes I forget to take my evening meds. Yes, I forget to take my evening meds sometimes. This is AM, I'll take PM here. It's like, dag nabbit. I'm bad. I really am bad when it comes to that kind of stuff. Another way you can pick up new friends is go on to a friendly live stream. Somebody who's like me gives, as long as you're not a troll, gives a blue wrench to just about everybody. That way you can reach out to people. Not everybody's like that. I went onto a live stream that somebody I'm subscribed to called The Source. And we're subscribed to each other, but he's a little over 2K. He's like at I think he's like at 2.1K. So he's a little bit ahead of me. About 150 ahead of me. And I went there and I said some nice things. I told him what like number I was and such. And a couple of people said hello to me. And everybody's got blue wrenches except for me and 1 or 2 others. And I didn't say, well, could you give me a blue wrench? But I mean, it's like, and I never did get a blue wrench, And he did acknowledge me. He said who I was, but I never did get a blue wrench from him. And he uses StreamYard, so there was somebody else up with him, a nice-looking young woman, and that's like eye candy. And I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but you get a lot of these channels where you've got a guy, maybe somebody my age, or maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, or whatever. Nobody wants to just go on and look at me. Now back when I was young, I wasn't bad looking, but that was when I was young. But like nowadays, the people who look and listen to me, probably we have a lot in common. Like we're similar in age. I talk about stuff they're interested in. I go to their channel. They talk about stuff I'm interested in. We've got some stuff going, and then some of them are just nice people who they're not creators, but they enjoy the content and everything. Yeah, I've got friends who basically help me with the trolls because everybody's got a blue wrench. So like Uncle Al or Dave or somebody, if I get a troll on, they'll before I even see it, they'll take care of the troll for me. I understand, Melinda. I understand you don't give everybody a wrench, and I appreciate the fact that I have one. But and the other thing is, somebody gives you a privilege or somebody does something kind for you, don't abuse it. When I go on to, you do your driving videos or whatever, here's the way I normally the way it happens. I'll say hello, good morning, good afternoon, I'll say something like that. And then I will see what like number I will be. I hit the like, and so what like number I am, then I'll indicate like number, whatever, and then a few more comments, and I'll say have a blessed day, and I'll do the prayer emoji, and then maybe somebody says hello to me, and then I'll say hello to them, and I spend a little time with them. Um, I've been on some of Myra's, hers usually around 20 minutes or so, because it takes about 20 minutes for her kid to drive her to work, and like she'll start off and she opens up, and she's doing a driving video, and she's talking, and she's being driven by her daughter. So I mean, you watch one of her live streams, and I mean, you give her the full time, and it's like 20 minutes for a lot of it, a lot of them. And then she posts stuff, and I'll go and I'll comment sometimes. She'll post like traffic stuff, and then she'll different things. But she's got a very nice channel, and also her channel's a lot bigger than mine too. I think she's somewhere around 5,000-6,000 subscribers. Walter, 4 in the house. Yeah, I know, Julie. Not everybody has good manners. And and there are other people. All they're interested in is them. They're only interested in themselves. There are people who are very self-centered, and they're interested in themselves and how they can how they can grow their own channel, and they don't think about anybody else. But I will tell you, 6,000. That's good. That's good. You and Belinda have similar sized channels, and that's really good. Little Lone Prepper, how's it going? So one of the things that I'm trying to do in my next generation of giveaways, for those of you who I possibly have given something before, or you've been one of my winners before, I'm doing boxes of other things. So like I'm doing like the boxes I'm going to be sending out for people who I've sent recently before. It'll have MRE stuff in it. There won't be any camp stoves. There'll probably be a small first aid kit like I showed. These are like $10 at Walmart. And this is like a refill kit. You can either use it as a regular kit and put a few extra things in it because it'll fit a few extra things, or you can basically just refill a kit. You got a larger one that perhaps I gave you or you bought on your own, and you can refill stuff. It's got a lot of stuff that would be like refill stuff. Eight in the house, 14 likes, 43 minutes in. So I will say again, the topic for tonight is the Summer of Love 2.5, Communist and Socialist. Communist, Socialist, and Democrat, so my. Oh, Elon Musk is trying to start a third party now. He's pissed off at GOP and Trump. And he's declared a third party, the American Party. Now, I will tell you this. If people actually go over to that in any sort of numbers, it'll basically screw the next election and guarantee a Democrat getting elected. That's how Clinton got elected. Ross Perot ran twice. One time he got 19%, mostly Republican vote. Second time he got 10%, and both times he cost the Republican because both times that Clinton got elected, he didn't get the majority of the vote either time. But the Republicans split between Perot and Bush the first time and Bob Dole the second time. So I will tell you this, they need to make peace, because anybody splitting the vote, all you're guaranteeing is a GD getting elected, and we don't need any more of those types. That's my personal opinion. Well, and Perot was one of these oil types. He was a billionaire oil man from Texas. H. Ross Perot. And then he sort of went moonbeam, talking about aliens and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Well, I think J.D. Vance would get in if you don't have a third party made up mainly of Republicans breaking off. You know, remember, and this happened. Jeez, the '92 election. So we're talking 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago. H. Ross Perot cost George Bush Sr. getting reelected. Well, one of the things that cost him, he said, "Read my lips, no new tax," and then he catered to he caved to the Democrats and let them raise the tax. Whereas he basically was the third term of Ronald Reagan, the way Biden was basically the third term of Barack Obama. And that would not have happened if, one, he hadn't caved and allowed them to raise tax, and two, if Perot hadn't run on his own and so many people voted for him, and it split the Republican vote, and it allowed Clinton with the minority numbers to get elected. Hillbilly Josh, how are you doing, Hillbilly Josh Loftus, my friend? You know, some of the worst of the worst of the left, they small numbers will support the communist, whoever the communist is. Small numbers will support the Green Party, whoever the Green Party is. You know, and you'll talk 1 or 2% will vote that extreme, and they're basically just wasting their votes when they do that. Yeah. Well, you know, you don't give them the opportunity to run with anything. You know, I mean, honest to God, used to be they shot looters. Like you'd have like they would deploy the guard. I can remember when I was a boy, there'd be a hurricane, and they'd deploy the guard, power outages and stuff down and everything, and you'd see the guard out, and they were armed with they were armed, and occasionally you'd hear about the guard had to shoot somebody, a looter or somebody. You had these idiots attacking the guard, attacking FEMA, attacking the administration back during Katrina, Katrina in New Orleans. That it was a real bad situation. You had these idiots that were attacking and shooting at. They had to put some of them down. I mean, the nuts. New Orleans, the nuts. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. 10 in the house, 15 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated if you haven't done so. So, the far left, they're trying to create as much disorder and chaos as they possibly can. Look at Los Angeles. Look at New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, places where they're having all of these riots. The state of Washington, Oregon, the big, the big blue cities. San Francisco, Los Angeles. You look at a map and you see red areas and blue areas, and most of the country's red. And then you see little dabs of blue. Those dabs of blue are big cities with millions of people in them. They're all in those cities, you know. But if there ever were a war with Russia or with China, and they were to hit our 8 or 10 huge cities, you'd never have a Democrat or a socialist ever get elected again, because you take out most of them. That's where they're all at. You know, like I live in Victoria, Texas. Population's in the low 60s. This is a red area. This is a red city. You don't have them causing trouble. You know, once or twice a year, you have the Catholics go out, and they've got signs up along Navarro, our main drag, and they're on the sidewalks, and they're basically picketing about abortion. They'll do one or two of those, but they behave, you know, because people don't put up with it. So, one more time I'll make the comment. My friend Dave, who goes by Yoda's Blessed Life, he recently hit 14K. His channel's just been blowing up. He changed his content, and his channel just blew up. So he did a post, and he wanted me to let everybody know he had done a post, and he's going to leave it up until his channel hits 15K. I don't know how long it'll take, but the way he's growing, it'll be probably less than a month. And he wanted me to tell people to go over and leave a comment on his post, leave a like on his post, and then reach out to other people that have commented on his post. And that'll be a way for you to pick up new friends. Reach out, watch a couple of videos, leave a couple of nice comments, likes, and that way you can grow your channel. LA's maybe losing 3 council members. What, they're getting arrested? One of the things that the Trump administration has announced for the next census, they're not going to count illegals. So like the big, like California, Illinois, New York, some of these places that are just overrun with illegals, they're not going to count them in the census, and that will shift. That'll shift seats. They'll lose seats, and it'll shift seats to areas that are more red. So the Dems will lose. They're thinking like 14. They said they may lose 14 seats, and they'll allow the Republicans to pick up a dozen more seats. It's very close. It's very close in the House. Now in the Senate, they anticipate that in the election, the Republicans will pick up one or two more seats. I think they got 53 right now, and that includes a couple of rhinos. But they'll pick up a couple of more seats, so maybe they'll have 55, and that'll give them a little bit more breathing room. When the bill passed, the vice president had to break the tie because all the Democrats voted against it, and like 3 of the Republican senators, I think, voted against it. So it was like a 50-50 vote. And the vice president had to break the vote in the Senate. In the House, it passed by like 4 votes. I think there were 2 Republicans that voted against it with the Democrats. The Democrats voted in a block. They just don't have the numbers. They're close, but they don't have the numbers. Yeah, New Jersey. Yes. My understanding, based on watching some of the news clips from some of the conservative or more conservative news sites, that's one of those issues that they're trying to deal with. Something that they're trying to deal with. It's something they're planning on dealing with. I do plan on doing a Coffee Talk News in the near future, or a couple of them maybe. I've got all these ambitions to do this, that, the other. I want to do a third MRE review. I want to upload. Well, I've already got it uploaded. I just need to do the information on it, description, and do shout outs. And I've got a video ready to go. It's on private right now. On that knife set with the knives and the flashlight. It's about 6 minutes long. I want to do that. I want to get that out this week. I keep saying I'm going to get it out. I don't know. I'm on survival mode. I sleep, I cook, I eat. I'm at the point where I hate like takeout burgers. Ugh. Yeah, if you go to a custom place, they're good. But I mean, like McDonald's, Whataburger, Burger King, just it's not the same. Wendy's not the same. Dairy Queen's not the same. It's just not the same. Yeah, they're doing some good. They are doing some good. It's just taking them time. They're doing some good. It's just taking them some time. Truthfully. Please leave a like to support the channel. I will have a better topic tomorrow, or one that I planned on tomorrow. And I just been working today, and I had to sit and have time. Uncle Al sent me some real nice slides, stuff to go through. I just got to go through and put my notes together. We'll have a better topic for tomorrow. So I think this was a very good live stream. I enjoyed it. I made my 1/2 pound hamburger patty. That's nice, Uncle Al. I've been buying like 85/15 preformed patties, and I'll do 2 of them, so it'll be like a double meat. So you get your half pound. Migas. I like that. Oh, you don't like migas? Okay. All right. So when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I take my medication, drink my coffee. I say the Lord's Prayer. I thank God that I woke up. You don't know how many days, your days are numbered. You don't know how many days you have. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have others do unto you, and lead by example. You know, lead by example. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be kind to people. Tell the people you love them. And everybody, remember the Scout motto is to be prepared. And everybody have a blessed day. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a good live stream. Thank you all for coming in, and we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Bye-bye.